Always going back to Father Seraphim. Father Seraphim says Satan wants to destroy the Jews. I said, well, Father Seraphim, wouldn't he want to destroy all people? He said, specifically the Jews. I said, why? He said, because then Satan could call God a liar. I said, huh? He said, God told Abraham that through Isaac, the Jews would spread far and wide, more than the sands of the shore or the stars of the sky. So if Satan can destroy the Jews, God's a liar. So Satan's mission has been to destroy the Jews so that we can say God is a liar. This is interesting. Now, Father Seraphim told me this story. He said, do you know that Hitler had 10 henchmen that he handpicked to carry out the destruction of the Jews? They ran the concentration camps, the rounding up of the Jews, the slaughter of the Jews. And Father Seraphim taught me something unbelievable. He said when they went to execute the last of those 10, they were getting ready to hang him. And they put the noose on his neck. This was after World War II. And they went to execute this final henchman, Hitler's 10 henchmen. And as they put the noose around his neck, just before they executed, and I know I'm not going to pronounce this right, I never can, he yelled, Purim. P-A-R-I-M. Purim. And nobody knew what that meant. And a Jewish rabbi came forward and he says, this is a Jewish feast that goes back to the book of Esther. And what he says was in that book, an evil man named Haman, like Hitler, he had 10 henchmen to eliminate the Jews. And let's look at our next slide. This is Esther. Esther, who is a righteous woman, she foiled the plot and she reported it to the king. This is what the book of Esther is about in the Bible. And she reported it to the king. And on the feast of Purim, those 10 henchmen were executed in the Old Testament. So here you have Haman, who had 10 henchmen to wipe out the Jews. It's discovered, and they executed all of them on the Feast of Purim. Here you have Hitler, who found 10 henchmen to eliminate the Jews, and the last one is executed on the Feast of Purim. I went, whoa, this is unbelievable. These 10 henchmen. Now, we Christians are the ones that are persecuted because now carrying on God's work, we continue to be the ones Satan pursues. That's why there's so many persecutions. That's why over 100,000 Christians a year lose their life for their faith. Now, the only options because of this persecution that you will never hear on the news, you will not read in the newspapers, you will not hear anybody stating, but I'm going to give it to you. It's called the truth. If you are a Christian living in Islamic territory, you only have a certain amount of options. 1, you convert to Islam. 2, you pay a huge fine to practice your faith if you are a Jew or Christian. 3, you could become a slave. 4, you can leave the country as a refugee. Or 5th, be killed. That is the reality. People don't hear about, all we hear about on our news today is the century-old, horrible, wrongful European slave trade. That's all we hear about. It's what they teach in the schools. But I defy you to find one school that teaches you about the Islamic slave trade. Barbarossa, who was a Muslim, said that he took more slaves, Christian slaves, in one day than an entire year of slaves going to America. Think about that for a minute. This isn't my words. I'm not a racist. Please don't send me the letter calling me a racist. I am simply telling you that the Muslim Barbarossa himself said, I took more Christian slaves in one day than an entire year of slaves going to the Americas. But we never hear about this. The expansion of Islam